Arachnid 2.0. What are those? Let's talk about it. So we have the Model Y Performance in our shop, and we want to talk a little bit about the wheel and tire package that comes with the Model Y Performance. So these are actually called Arachnid 2.0. And if you are an early Tesla owner, the Model S actually had a wheel called Arachnid. And we'll put, I guess, like a photo of it right here or somewhere around here. So this is the 2.0. And these are actually 21-inch wheels with the Hankook Ion Evo AS SUV tires, which are actually excellent tires, if I'm being honest. So it has this 5-spoke system, but it kind of splits, and you got all these inserts. And the inserts, there's actually 5 inserts, which are kind of triangular shape like this. And then you got these smaller inserts as well. There's actually 5 as well. So there's 5, a total of 10 inserts. They do actually come out, and I personally like removing it. We're actually gonna do another video of removing it. But, and I like removing it because I think once you remove it, you reveal a little bit of those larger red brake calipers right there. Whereas when you don't, you can see it kind of covers up, and this is like the only area where it actually shows that, right? Which I don't think it's, you gotta show that off. So, Hankook, I've seen a lot of this more often. I think they're excellent tires. I have it in other cars. But we also picked up a standard with 18-inch wheels, right, or Steelies really. And they also had Hankook as well. So that's like the first time I actually saw Tesla putting this stock from the delivery. And these are going to be, by the way, these are going to be staggered setting. For those of you who don't know what that means, the front tires are actually different sizes from the front and the rear. And the rear is always a little bit wider. So this is 255, which is the width, 255 millimeter width in the front. And it's actually 275, slightly larger on the back, which allows it to give a little bit more grip, which makes it a little bit faster. And this is a lot more common in performance related cars. So let's just kind of talk about this. This is an Ion Evo AS SUV. It's loaded. It's actually for EV, and you can see right here, it has an EV signature right here. It also does have sound absorber, right? So back in the day too, they used to use like Primacy, they used to use Pilot Sport 4S. And if you open up the tires, there's actually like a dampener inside of it. So this has that tech as well. And this is also very, very, very low profile, right? So let's talk about this. This is a 255, again, the width of the tire. The 35 is the ratio. R is radial construction. 21 is the wheel size. 98 is basically the load rating. And then W is the speed as well. So 98 is the load index. And 98 means that it can support up to 1653 when properly inflated. And this is supposed to be like 45 PSI. I know that's high, but for EVs, that's actually quite normal. And then the W is it can actually sustain up to 168 miles per hour, which is actually pretty insane. So I think a lot of times, like when people talk about going really, really fast, a lot of the cars can actually go really fast, but the real question becomes, can the tires actually sustain those speeds? And a lot of times it can't. So that W is really important as well. I am Korean, so this is cool. This is made in Korea, Hankook tires. So kudos on that one. But like I said, this is a 5-spoke system. It has also a center cap right here that's plastic. But I think it looks fantastic. I really do like it. The one thing about it is 21-inch tires will feel a little bit rougher than something like an 18 or 19. Also, you could curb it a little bit easier, but you do get the performance, right? The 21-inch. Typically, I think the performance ones usually put a little bit bigger wheels, whereas some more, the day-to-day drivers are typically 18 or 19-inch wheels. So these are going to be 21. Again, looks really, really cool. So let's look at the back, kind of like what I talked about. It's very, very similar, but it's also the 21-inch. But you can see right here, it's 275, 35R, 21, 103W. So what that means, again, the load index is a little bit higher on this one. The W is the same, but everything else other than the 275, again, 255 in the front, 275 in the rear on the Evo AS SUV. So this has a good amount of grip, and again, low profile, which I really, really like. I think it looks good. I think it would look even better if you kind of widen the stance maybe, perhaps. But I think I'm a fan of these wheels and tire package, to be honest. So I'm really happy about the Hankook Ion. They used to put also like Sport S, and I love the Sport 4S too, but they don't nearly last as long, especially if you like going fast often. So I think this is a good upgrade. Again, same thing here. Got calipers in the rear. If you remove those covers, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. You know, having been driving it just a couple times so far, I think it feels really great for 21-inch tires. Although it looks amazing, the only downside is, remember I said earlier that this is a staggered setup. What that means is you really can't rotate it, you know, doing the X pattern or anything like that. So, you know, you could go this way, right? Front, you know, side to side, as long as it's not specifically, I don't think this is specifically for like each side. So I think you can at least do that, but it doesn't do as much. So I think a lot of times when it's staggered setup, they don't rotate as often. But if you want different wheels, I definitely check out our friends at Unplugged Performance. They have some really good wheels, and they just came out with a really new one. It's called, let me look it up real quick. It is called the UPRW wheel. And look at this. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. So I recommend getting that wheel on this setup. They have it in different sizes and all that. So check them out. Then you can get the wheel and tire package. We weren't paid to say this at all. We just like them. I think they make really cool stuff. So highly recommend that if you're not a fan of this, but I will say that these are still a fantastic package, both tire and wheel. So if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below, but let's go ahead and track this.